Kia ora from Aotearoa. It's Poppy here with the current 9th wave, Sacred Mayan energies. And we have just started a DAYWAVE 143, and this is starting in 4 Storm, which is the 4th day of the Sovereign Owl Tracina. So radical new form develops from psychological cleansing of our belief systems. It may be intense and chaotic, and it is vital to stay in our heart centers. Radical change in belief, which is a human condition, causes radical change and form throughout our entire being. Consciousness, this is why our consciousness is so valuable, is that it does create change. It creates what forms in our realities. So peaceful warrior work with owl insight and awareness of our being through multiple dimensions. Dedication to the true light frequencies empowers this cleansing that ultimately holds or heals us. Our body is a biofeedback system that responds to our emotions and thoughts. So freeing our mind from deception, social programming, participation in psychological operations, of which there are many running at present, perceptions of conflict, defense, revenge, good and evil consciousness also frees our bodies of limits and disabilities eventually as matter reorganises in response to new thought forms, and that can take a bit of time. A lightning path is like the light connection between earth and sky in highly charged atmospheres. Sudden and intense change results as light enlightens our neural receptors. We are of the light, and our souls contain light and communicate with one another through neural pathways. And I always remember, I can't remember who it was, but it was Candace Pert, and she was looking at how there's actually like a lightning spark as the neurons communicate with one another. So it is actually, there's light in the mix. And we are electromagnetic beings and function best by pairing the connections that we have with Mother Earth and Father Sky through our soul stream, centered in our heart. And this centers us through all life storms and shares cosmic love and compassion that expands in our toroidal field. Cosmic love is intelligent and energetic. Just by being in the presence of others, we are sharing that cosmic love, because that toroidal field can expand out for great distances, depending on the frequency of the being. So we are naturally just affecting everything with our cosmic love wherever we go. So may you weather storms well through all this rapid change and intensity. And a friend today posted this, which really is perfect for this day and for this energy. And so it's a quote by Isla Prigogine, excuse my pronunciation, but it says, "When a complex system is far from equilibrium, small islands of coherence in a sea of chaos have the capacity to shift the entire system to a higher order." Yeah, so that's our task, and it is possible, and that is what we are doing. Okay, so just breaking down the days, and of course we've got a full lunar eclipse and the equinox within this day wave. But the second day of before storm day wave is 5 Sun, where we are empowered with enlightenment through our receptivity to the source light energies that come through the sun from the cosmic axis, from the heart of Father Sky, far beyond the false light of the anti-source gods that are presented in lower dimensions. And I've been talking with a beautiful friend. I love to share and explore consciousness with others, and I really appreciate and value this friend who really had a good question and really helped put me correct, really, as to what source is. So So source is, it's the whole field of consciousness. It's everything that is and everything that isn't. It's that whole field. It just is. So when I was saying, give it to source, really, we can give that to Father Sky, we can give it to Mother Earth, we can give it to the highest representatives of the source light that we have in our soul stream, the highest of the high frequencies. So I just wanted to clarify that, and also give my thanks to people who really do ask these good questions and and join in together with looking at these truths and how it all works. So thank you very much. Then we go to 6 Alligator. It's day 3, and this is a flow of birthing as our being with primal trust in nature. The salty, nutritious waters of the void of creation nurture our being with the light of source within. It's very much like the amniotic fluids that we get born out of. It's salty, it's nutritious, and we're getting created in there, and then we birth ourselves out from the saltiness, which is just like the light that is in the waters. I'm really tuned into the light. I had this incredible experience this week. I'm having a lot of trouble with my neck and getting the cranial fluids moving up and down, and I've been doing these exercises and I think I got the connection working a lot, and I actually just fell asleep in the day, in the daytime, and I asked for a dream to show me what is what, and it was amazing, because what actually happened is that in this dream, which was actually real, because when I came out of the experience I was awake. So the dream was that I started to levitate up off my bed, and I could feel the blankets as well, and I've always been a little bit concerned about out-of-body experiences or going into the astral because of my past and things like that, and it can be dangerous to go into the astral, but this was something that happened. I asked for a protected dream, I asked to see, and anyway, what happened is that I levitated up, and then I was like, I must have been really tiny, I was hurtling through space, and then I was amongst all these water droplets, and like the torsion field and all the water droplets was there, and the water droplets were just filled with this immense light, like just this glorious, beautiful, opalescent light, and I was in absolute bliss. Actually, it was one of the most blissful experiences that I ever had, coming from an absolutely natural state. So there's just so much in the water. There's so much light. It's incredible. Okay, so the next day is 7 Wind, and these are like reflections gained through conscious breathing generate honesty in our expressing and communicating as we come to know our being that is free from mind control and psychological programming. So all of that mind control and psychological programming has happened in the lower dimensions, where there's even the false gods, there's this false reality that our mind got caught, really. And so as we breathe, we can go up into these with conscious breathing, we can actually access truth, the absolute pure cosmic love of our being, all that is. So I really encourage this as a way of life, of conscious living. Then 8 Night. So whenever we come across an 8 day, that's like integrating the Tracina that preceded the one that we're on. And so we actually would have grown a lot through that Tracina of night, which was the one that was all about meditating and dreaming our solutions and with nature. And so this gives us another opportunity to really, really integrate that into our being. So we integrate and live by the solutions gained in our meditations and dreaming, and it's each unique to our lives and personal growth. I cannot live your life or do your life. You cannot do mine. We each gain our own solutions and our own place where we are, in our personal growth and development. Then we go to 9 seed, which is day 6 of 18 in 4 storm. And this is about living by the new patterns that emerge in our awareness that are viable and authentic. Like they're real, they're true. Our DNA heals as source light is received and held in it. So we have photons that are part of our DNA. When the body dies, a part of our mass actually leaves. And I do believe that this is this is very light, but it's the photonic light. It's what's been on our DNA, and it goes on into our next physical presence, but it stays with us. And so everything that is gained in our life is held and stored. And you could call that the soul. I'm not quite sure how it mixes and merges, but it's incredibly intelligent and clever how this all does work. We are far beyond this earthly experience, but this earthly experience is incredibly important for her rising and for our rising. Then the next day is 10 serpent. We may detect the challenges that are blocks in our energy systems that may be cleansed. So we free up stagnancy and whatever blocks the flow within the soul source stream. So on a 10 day, we often have a bit of a challenge. So that's great, because when we sort out that challenge, then we materialize new stuff from actually clearing or cleansing the challenge or the block that is presenting. And then we have the full lunar eclipse, and this was actually straddling these two energies of 10 serpent and 11 death, but people will wake up from this lunar eclipse into the energy of 11 death. This is an incredible energy to be having a full lunar eclipse with. It's actually a gateway of rebirth and transformation. So this is going to be happening we're going to hold this energy for an extended period of time, where we will be surrendering and letting go and allowing the lower vibrational states of like conflict and deceit to dissolve. And these are the lower vibrational energies that we've been caught up in this matrix. And we are the ones that can set ourselves free by transcending it. And so we will be discovering the ways of peace, harmony, transparency, clarity, and cosmic love to birth as we birth. Then the next day is 12 deer, and we are maturing into the ways of natural self-healing and balancing our being from the ground. You see how the deer holds itself very balanced on 4 hooves, which represent the 4 directions of life. And so we have balance in all of life from the ground up. And so the deer is really from the ground up. Our belief systems may embrace what was once known and innate. And what I love about the deer, it is also an incredible detector of nefarious energies. And with maturity and wisdom, those nefarious energies may be released. And then 13 star. And this is our new 9-day phase. So this is right at the top of the day wave, at the height of the heights. And so we're going into the heights of frequency of our star being brightness and high dimensions. This is rapidly rising frequencies that vibrate off the dross of redundant psychological programming. And if you observe the Schumann resonance, you'll see that the actual resonance, which is normally, 7.43, something like that, that is what has been the Earth's frequency, but it's actually rising and it's having leaps, and it's been going up into 11, and it's been going up higher and higher. And this is actually an indication of this rising frequency, which we will eventually transcend our way out of the mind control matrix and out of the eras of duality that we've had to master our souls, which have been wow. And, we're still coming out of it. It can still be extremely challenging for some of us. And look, I want to give a shout out to people with disabilities. I know of other people with disabilities, and now with the system breaking down, we need to take care of people that are disabled. I'm disabled at this present state. I still am, from the trauma that my body has held. Yeah, but anyway, we will keep going, and we do have to learn those ways of healing. Anyway, the heights of frequency of a star being brightness and high dimensions, rapidly rising frequencies that vibrate off the dross of redundant psychological probing, and I've just talked about. This frees us up to regain these abilities, our abilities that were present before the ages of massive trauma and separation, and that includes the self-healing abilities, which we're only limited by our belief system, but our belief systems can transcend what we know now, and this is what this DAYWAVE is very much about. And these abilities are telepathy, pure sensitive empathy, telekinesis, our ability to communicate with plants, animals, nature, etc. I've actually managed to keep myself alive through communications with plants and animals and nature. And in my meditations, I have received direct instructions of what I can do for my health, because they could not be found anywhere else but directly to me. When it comes to our personal health, it's one thing works for one person and another thing works for another. So if we're tuning in with the elements, with the nature, with everything, we get really the information which is specific for ourselves. And the more that we rise in our vibration and ascend in frequency, the more easily this comes to us. And as frequencies, so it may be really vital staying heart-centered, as such a rise can be chaotic while our belief systems undergo massive transformation and open up to all kinds of possibilities and things that we once knew, that we've forgotten, that we're remembering as we rise up in this frequency with the earth. So as frequencies rise, the dynamics of life change, such as revelations that upgrade belief systems, expose what is, and there being more immediate consequences for actions and inactions. That means that those who do set harm in people's ways, often that harm is getting put into the faces of those who sent it. And this is just like immediate consequences for actions and actions. It's like earth and nature saying, no, you cannot do harm to my beings anymore. And that includes our animals that have been factory farmed and totally exploited for the uses. It's just horrendous. And when you've actually been used in human sacrifice, you really do have empathy for the animals. Well done, everyone. I've just inspired myself, actually, because sometimes I've gone through a lot with all this healing process, and I was prepared to die. I was prepared that may be what I need to do, that maybe I couldn't get past the limits that I have. But then in my meditations, I see myself healed in the future. I don't know how long it takes, but staying in my being, even though I am in an enormous amount of pain and I have quite severe limits in my life, this process in the big scheme of things is well worth it to come through. And I haven't got this far to just go, it all wrecked me and I'm off and I'm out. No, there's more purpose for me, and I really find, encouraging myself is a great purpose, and then there's others that are encouraged by what I'm saying, here, and it's just a few, but wow, for anyone it's worth it. Then we start a new Tracina in one water. This is day 11 of 18, and this is about becoming unified through our sensitivity as we audibly offer perceived depths and limits to healing transformational fires. This is like putting our prayers out there. When they are audibly spoken, there's a reverberation in the field. It's like the whole field witnesses this. Okay, and the fire through our physical circulatory system burns up the toxins in our blood and waters as we intend. Then we go to 2 dog, day 12 of 18, and as I was writing this up, I was sitting in the toroidal field of the earth outside, and I was just about to write up 2 dog, and the dog comes and visits. I just love it. I love that synchronicity. It was lovely. So 2 dog, naturally living ways of ethical justice in a world that has been caught in injustice and naturally imposed and enforced legal structures. So this DAYWAVE is about us being able to transcend that psychological programming and become free as clusters of consciousness that can actually break through and break out and create beautiful justice for everyone and everything. We don't have pure justice, natural justice, until it is for everyone and everything. Then 3 monkey. This is about activated time weaving. As we are accessing our being in higher dimensions, we are activated to purify our belief systems. So in the higher dimensions, it's like all time all at once. It's timefulness, it's timelessness. So we can do a lot in there to weave our time, to correct our past and go ahead of ourselves and make a way for ourselves as we have to, live in the lower dimensions as well. We're bringing that energy up through us. We access ourselves from beyond the dimensions where outer psychological programming has become lighter and brighter, more loving, pure and innocent, and therefore more magical and playful too. I so need to remind myself of these things. It's so easy when you're living in intense pain and all of that. It's so easy, sometimes to go down. But when you go down into the pain and I'm clearing things, I'm cleansing things. So even pain has its place. So everything is in kind of perfect order anyway. Then on the equinox, we go to 4 road. So at this time where the light is equally balanced in both the northern and southern hemispheres, our sensitive awareness guides our destiny roads. So seasons are changing from spring in the northern hemisphere and autumn into the southern hemisphere. So there's a lot more planting that will be happening in the northern hemisphere and more harvesting that's happening in the southern hemisphere. And these are the ways of nature. In the way, if we live by the ways of nature, we learn about planting and harvesting actually directly with the earth is great. And then we go to 5 reed. We are empowered to bring light and awareness from the heavenly dimensions to earth through the pillar of our soul's source stream, and we're doing it. We are lights in this earth realm, caring and sharing with those that we share life with. I'd love to see a lot more caring and sharing going on. What's happened is that, the financial systems has taught people to compete and only be out for themselves and only be out for their families, which is leaving a lot of vulnerable people, and it has left a lot of vulnerable people everywhere. And so it's time really that we start thinking about these vulnerable people. And I have a special place in my heart for vulnerable people. There's certain people that I've developed connections with that we encourage one another to get through the hardest times. Sometimes it's harder for me to encourage when I'm at a harder place myself, and that's where I'm encouraged, and then other times I'm in a better place to encourage others. But it's beautiful that we do. And then we go to 6 Jaguar, day 16, and this is the flow of shamanic questing with nature. This is about sitting in nature. I'm sitting in the toroidal field of the earth as I say this. I had a prayer before I spoke that the words may be the words that people really need to hear, the words for myself as well. So sitting in nature, communing, tuning in, slowing down to be. This is actually an essential part of conscious living. And what the systematized way has done is it's made life so busy that people only have time to do and make money for those few people that have been taking it. But if we can stop and and drop, I literally dropped to be, it's actually great. And so I'm grateful that I've discovered that from my experience, as harsh as it has been, that experience in my perception. Then 7 Eagle, the second to last day of this 4-storm day wave, reflecting on the grand perspectives found at great heights above the mind control matrix, serving nature's vision of sovereign life and being. And then I absolutely love that the final day of this day wave is an 8L, where we are actually integrating the sovereign learning that we will have gained from that very sovereign Tracina of owl. So we may integrate our progress regarding our sovereignty, having travelled this day wave of upgrading our belief systems and affecting change through flying through the dimensions we exist in. And just a little word about these messages. They are not channeled messages. They are an intuitive perspective based on experiences relating to the 9th wave True Time Sacred Mind calendar energies in connection with Mother Earth, who is she holds the life force source. She is like a life force source, and planetary materialization of consciousness happens with her and in all the planets and everywhere, but we are here with Earth, and so this matters very much to us at the moment. And Father Sky is the source of the energetic light frequencies that come through the cosmic axis, and source itself is all of everything. Actually, I've had beautiful experiences of being within all that is in balance and harmony. I believe that I was first shown that we would come into balance and harmony, which would be a blissful experience it's like swimming in an opalescent lake of light. It's so beautiful. So with these messages, I do focus on the highest potential that the energies may bring, and this will connect with a few, and together we are strong. I just get that image of the pillars that we are, that are bringing the light of the heavens down into earth. And the earth also has incredible light. Like when you connect with the heart of Mother Earth, it's pure bliss as being as well. She has that at her core. It's this matrix that has covered her and usurped her and us that we're dealing with at the moment, that we're breaking through and out of with our conscious awareness. So it's intended for entertainment purposes. So let's entertain the unified field with our fractals of consciousness. We are fractals of Source, and together we are part of Source. So we matter a lot. And these are the sacred energies of the light source consciousness as they arrive from the heart of the Heavenly Father through the solar sun each day. So much love to you. Travel well through the day wave. It could be chaotic. Stay calm. Stay in your heart. And we will. Love prevails. Love, peace. The ways of absolute high frequency are what we are bringing in and becoming. So much love.